these narratives and this type of inertia, this political inertia. I'm talking about woke versus anti-woke, that paradigm, left versus right, radical left versus conservatives and so forth. Muslims versus Christians, okay? It self-reproduces and it increases. Why? What is the force multiplier? A lot of people in the last few years, all of the leading so-called independent media outlets, podcasts, persons, are all basically people from the mainstream that have come and colonized the independent space, which is no longer independent. Like Barry Weiss, the Free Press, for instance. Joe Rogan, all these people, Russell Brand, they're from the mainstream. And there's so many others I could say. There are independent people, but a lot of them are very wealthy. They're not actually grassroots independent journalists. There's a few that's probably more of a true independent voice, but it's an industry. And that industry kind of came into its own. The Daily Wire is like the classic example. And it was really about, like, you know, the anti-woke, the anti-left, that sort of thing, into the freedom movement a little bit, culture war issues, okay? They carved out this space. The billionaire class, the money pours in because it realizes that this is the new, if you will, center ground for the new conservative right. These same people who are pouring the money in, they're also very, very staunch supporters of Zionism, be they Christian Zionists or be they Jewish Zionists, American or European. They want to basically get a hold of these influencers. Prager University, perfect example. It advocates very, very hard to the paint for Israel, but then fashions itself as a pro-freedom, pro-American organization. But on the issue of support for Israel, unflinching, and recruited Candace Owens from the get-go. They saw her as a black conservative woman who was a lethal weapon against the radical left. She was recruited, sponsored, looked after, paid very well. That platform helped to catapult her into the Daily Wire, and she got even bigger. And then suddenly Candace Owens decides to think for herself, develop her own independent ideas, and all of a sudden she's branded as public enemy #1. Why? Because she veered on one issue, and that was the issue of Israel and Gaza. So isn't that amazing? With this whole Death Star of a right-wing media confab, the one thing that can sort of make the whole thing malfunction is a single issue. That's also the case with the Trump administration. As it did to the Democrats before with Biden, this one issue became a major fissure.